are arised because when a business requirement cannot be accomplished by using a traditional SAP functions or standard configuration, we need to raise RICEF objects. As we all know that interfaces, enhancements, forms, we all have done earlier. So I'm going to explain that part today now. Here, every object is defined according to the RICEF classifications used in any rollout, implementation, upgrade or migration project. These items will be developed separately by the development team. We'll be having different teams in our SAP projects, functional team, technical team, support team and development team. Now the development team will be taking over this RICEF objects development. And we are going to use those. Sometimes even functional consultant also need to consider all these objects and present to the business users. These items will be developed separately. A different team is working on RICEF development. We will need to create a functional specification for RICEF technical objects that affect their respective business process. And I'm having document. I'll present you after the presentation, or else I'll show you after my demo. Now, in detail explanation I'll give on RICEF. Wait, I'll show you the document, then you will get a clear understanding. I'll share my screen, wait. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, Rupa, yes.
Okay, thank you. It is a little bit slow. Please don't mind. Yeah. Now everybody will be able to see and they'll get to know in detail explanation on this. Yeah. How RICEF is used in an SAP project. An SAP implementation project life cycle has several stages. During the blueprinting and analysis stage of the project, we study the business requirements and map those requirements in SAP to provide solutions. The requirements which cannot be satisfied by standard SAP application are called gaps. Even we use fits also, but most probably we'll be using gaps only. Based on the category of the gaps, objects are created in the form of RICEF team. Each gap will have one RICEF object and the total inventory of RICEF objects is considered as the task list of deliverables to be developed and managed. We'll see the individual part of what the RICEF objects are. I'm just scribbling it down. Yeah, tell me, sir.
That small screen is visible in this screen. Like we are not unable to see full words.
Okay, let me increase the size.
Black screen you can remove.
No. The small screen is there, no? You want to remove that? Yeah, that one.
Drag it to right side.
Shall I keep it aside? Or else
remove that one. Into mark will be there. Yeah.
This one, sir?
Yeah. Now it is available. Yeah, that one only.
It's okay now.
Okay, shall I close it?
Size also.
Okay, shall I close it, sir?
Yeah, you can close it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, shall I increase the font size to 16?
Yeah, please increase.
Let me select everything. Now it is visible, sir? Or shall I press still more?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. Yeah, you can see the picture of RICEF in how we will be using it in realization phase. Let me show you clearly. Like this. In the ASAP methodology, we will be going on 5 phases: that project preparation, business blueprint, realization, final preparation, go live. In the blueprint phase, we'll not be using this, but realization phase will be there. No, there we'll be identifying that needs what we have not met according to the business requirements. Then at that point of time, we'll be using this RICEF objects, and the development team will be presenting all this. They'll take care of what? They'll take care of all these parts. Now let us look into the individual topics. Reports. Can anyone say what are the reports we'll be using in SAP standard forms? Do anyone have idea regarding these reports? As Chanu sir said in the last classes. Hello?
Prepare the jet reports with the help of ABAPR.
Yes, sir.
Forms also dunning forms and payment advisory forms. We can with the help of we can prepare to the ABAPR.
Yes. Yes, sir. And now in detail explanation we'll see. A report in SAP is a custom transaction that is built up using one or multiple programs that reads the required information from the database and produces a displays output after report execution based on the input criteria entered on the selection screen of the transaction by an end user. It is like a display of information in the required format based on a given selection. Most probably ABAPR will be involved up to till 80% of the work will be done by the ABAPR. We have to sit with them and discuss all the requirements of ours, and we have to give the functional specification to him. Then he will develop the technical part. Let me put the mouse. I'm not able to scroll down it. Please, just a minute. So types of reports, do you know, sir, Venkateshwarlu garu? Types of report మీకు ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందా అండి? అంటే టెంప్లెట్స్ ఎప్పుడైనా చూసారా?
Types of reports or types of projects?
ఎస్, అంటే మీరు రియల్ టైం ఒకవేళ మీకు ఐడియా ఉంటే చూసారా అని అడుగుతాను.
రిపోర్ట్స్ అని తెలియదండి, టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ తెలుసు.
ఓకే ఓకే, అంటే రోల్ అవుట్, మైగ్రేషన్ ఇలాంటివి చెప్తున్నారా?
అవునండి.
ఓకే అండి, ఓకే. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద ఫాలోయింగ్ కేటగిరీస్:
సపోర్ట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, మైగ్రేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, రోల్ అవుట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, టెస్టింగ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ అని.
ఓకే అండి. So we'll be having standard reports available in SAP given by the standard SAP only. Next, customized developed reports developed by the project team, taking standard reports as reference. And we'll be having some queries regarding it. Generates our own report by using standard SAP tables. So overall, everything will be based on standard SAP only. First, we need to have clear-cut clarification on that standard reports so that we can customize according to the requirement. In case the standard reports do not have the required features to satisfy the customer's requirement, then the project team develops custom report to understand the complete requirement and then finalize the selection screen, key fields, and the output format that should be generated when the report is executed. This is then considered as RICEF object. So here what they are telling is, if the requirement features they do not have the required features, we have to customize the requirement according to the project teams by using the standard SAP as reference. As they have said above, the same part is here, and these are the given templates according to the Google I have searched so far. So this will be most in the costing, I think. Selection screen like this, but they want like this. This is in the row form. They want in the column form. This we cannot do by our own. We need the help of ABAPer. So then report will be raised. Next, coming to the I stands for interfaces. As we all know that IDOC is the famous interface, and even some other interfaces are there, but we are familiar about the IDOCs. Let me explain this. In most of the companies, there are several processes in departments such as planning, shipping, inventory management, etc. They are managed in external third-party systems that are non-SAP systems. For example, during shipping, they use third-party logistic systems to pick up or pack and ship the delivery. For that, the SAP delivery information is sent to the external non-SAP system, and pick, pack, and shipment information is received in the SAP system through a middleware. These EDI communications are done through interfaces, and IDOCs are used for this data transfer. So here what they are telling is, this process in several companies, processes will be having in a process. What first we'll order something, they will raise the invoice, they will pack those material. In between that packing and delivery process, they will be having so much of work. What is that? Planning, shipping, inventory management, etc. This process undergoes the interface system. This is called by using the EDI, electronic data interchange. All this planning, shipping, and inventory will not be having this information. This will be with the provider who is providing for us. So that will be in their Excel sheets or some other formats. So that will be converted by using IDOCs into the SAP system. I'm telling what I understood. Now, SAP has its standard EDI structures having defined segments and fields. These segments, as you all know, control record status will be using in IDOCs, no? There the segment arises. It is also in a geographical area, I think so. SAP has its standard EDI structures using defined segments and fields, but still we need to construct custom segments and fields as all the required segments are not available in the standard. For that, the functional consultant needs to give the details of what needs to be transferred, received, and the segments, fields, etc. to the ABAP team. This is then considered as another RICEF object. Yeah, this interface is used as a middleware for the development of the fields and segments what we want into the SAP system. See, the diagram is like this. See the Now the conversion. When the SAP is implemented or upgraded, the organization is going to sunset its legacy systems. Cutover strategies, cutover activities will be done at this point. We'll close all the old ones and we start the new SAP project. Sorry, project not. Um, the terms and policies what we have to use in this SAP. When the SAP is implemented or upgraded, the organization is going to sunset its legacy systems. Thus, their business live data needs to be uploaded in the SAP application. To upload the data in the SAP system, such as the material master, business partner, batch master, inventory, bill of materials, open purchase orders, etc. The data needs to be converted from one form to another as per the system's requirement. This is called a conversion. Can anyone say the examples of conversion? Sir Chanu sir has given a project also on this. Legacy system, we have to transfer the um, non-SAP system to SAP system. We all have done, I think so. Can anyone?
LSMW.
Yes, LSMW, BDC, LTMC. Now LTMC is not using, I think so. Only BDC and LSMW are active. Here the business team extracts the data out of their legacy systems. The project team then wants to upload the data into the SAP system by making use of the SAP data migration tools. This data migration tool, by using these tools, we are converting the Excel sheets information into this SAP information. The project team then wants to upload the data into the SAP system by making use of the SAP data migration tools like BDC, LSMW, LTMC, etc. This BDC is batch data communication. LSMW stands for Legacy System Migration Workbench, and LTMC I too don't know properly. That C stands for cockpit, I think so. Here, do anyone know the full form of LTMC?
Legacy migration cockpit, but it is part of S4HANA, not an ECC.
ECC, yes. Thank you, ma'am. Here, the functional consultant works with the client team and the technical team to write some programs that will read the data from those files and load it into the SAP application. These will then be the new objects in the RICEF list. This conversion is mostly, simply we can say that we are transferring the non-SAP system to the SAP system data. The entire data we are transferring to the to the SAP system. That is nothing but conversion. Enhancements. If the business requirement cannot be satisfied by standard SAP features, then the project team will add some custom functionalities by modifying the SAP standard. These are called enhancements. The enhancements are developed by technical ABAP consultants making use of BADIs, enhancement frameworks or user exits. These will be the new RICEF objects where the project functional team works with the business team to gather the requirement and then work with the technical team to modify or leverage the SAP standard and create a new custom solution as per business requirement. One example could be to develop RF capabilities at the IM level. I too don't know this exactly, but enhancement will be used for the modification. In the enhancement phase, we'll be using the modifications mostly. Any fields are we want to add something to the business. We want to add something to the business requirements. Then we'll go and modify there.
Yeah, 1 minute now.
Yeah.
Adding to her point, actually here the examples are, if you want to like if you want to have any new field in the screen on the screen, which is not fulfilling by the SAP standard system, then we go for this kind of enhancements. If you want to get any new screens also, in that case we use this enhancements.
Yo, thank you, ma'am. Now, forms. Forms are print outputs generated from SAP application after saving the transactional data. Yes, we have come across in APP forms, script form, PDF form, XML forms, all these forms. I think so in Dunning also we have come across these forms. Do anyone have idea on this?
Yeah, whatever you said, that is correct. Whatever the forms we generate, customized forms we create, like for Dunning and APP,
APP.
checks, whatever, all kind of forms comes under this category.
Yes. Yeah, forms are print outputs generated from SAP application after saving the transactional data. Some examples are purchase order print, material document print, delivery docket, pick ticket, physical inventory count sheet, label prints, etc. Standard SAP has a predefined format and template for all these forms, but these predefined forms may not be meeting business requirements as they may like to add a company's logo, legal text on the forms. This requires a functional team to work with ABAP and develop custom forms as per the business requirement. Yeah, by typing LP01, we'll get a print form, no? That one. If we want to add something as per the business requirements, as per the client's requirement, then we can add on by using this forms. Yes, also a standard SAP has a predefined format. Yes, I'm showing you that predefined format. Like this it will be. And if we want to add something, we can by using this form. Workflow. W stands for workflow. Workflow is the flowing of transactional data from one level to another in a sequence as per the organization hierarchy. At every level, one or more actions are required. Once taken, the workflow advances to the next level. For example, when the purchase order is created for a value of more than $1,000, this is going to the manager for approval. Once approved, it will go to the VP for a second level approval and so on. In case the workflow as per business requirement is not available in a standard SAP application, then this results in a new RICEF object. Here, the functional consultant coordinates with the technical team and develops the custom object of approval flow logic containing the details of data to be sent, under which condition this workflow is to be triggered, etc. Yes, these workflows are nothing but, as we have discussed above, what the main purpose of this RICEF is. When the business needs are not, when the SAP standard is not meeting the requirement of business, then we'll go with the RICEF objects. The same thing is happening here. But whatever we want to do, we need to get so many approvals. So the workflow example is nothing but that one only. This example they have given here, no? The same thing. Now I'm going to conclude this. RICEF objects are required in every SAP project. The consultant need to have a good understanding of the RICEF, which plays a key role in defining the project scope, estimating the project budget, defining the timelines, providing quality solutions, and achieving success in the end. For this purpose, we need to know the well-verse of the RICEF objects, and to tackle all this, we need to have good knowledge and communication skills. Thank you. So that's it. If you want, I will share this in the group.